The longest night in history has fallen on the Marvel Universe, and now our heroes are divided amongst the living and the dead. Will they ever overcome? Only if they can defang this vampire threat. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop into the pages of Blood Hunt issue number 3 and find out together, shall we? So then, as we join the book, we once again join up with the mastermind of this vampiric plot, Vampire Lord Blade. He's currently having a teleconferencing call with the vampirized Black Panther. It seems that T'Challa was sent back to Wakanda in an attempt to retrieve some manner of ancient artifact, older than even Atlantis, that Blade believes will be central to his ultimate goal of conquering the entire world. We can also see that the Scarlet Witch is still very much alive. Wanda takes this opportunity to talk some shit to Blade, saying that his blood coven isn't nearly as invincible as he believed. And now that the element of surprise isn't on his side anymore, it's only a matter of time before the dominoes start falling where they may. And hey, speaking of surprise attacks, and I definitely was, at the end of the previous issue, Miles Morales shocked everyone by revealing that he was actually a vampire sleeper agent for Blade this whole time. The vampiric Spider-Man attacked the other heroes, but in particular he singled out Briella, aka Bloodline, aka Blade's daughter. It's Clea who ends up really coming in clutch in this situation, binding Miles with the Crimson Bands of Cyttorak so Steven can swoop on in and remove Miles' vampire bloodlust with a handy-dandy spell. Miles is still a vampire, and they're going to have to deal with that problem when they get to it, but for the moment being, he's not interested in drinking their sweet, sweet blood. Quite awkwardly, though, it's only right here, right now, does Briella actually catch on to the idea that her father is the one leading this vampire attack. Dracula had kept that piece of information secret from her, and I mean, really, can you blame him? I sincerely doubt the two would have teamed up if the King of the Vampires had said, oh yeah, let's go kill your father and save the world at the same time. Interestingly enough, Dracula actually does believe beyond any shadow of a doubt that Bloodline is actually the one who is destined to save the world in this situation by undoing her father. Of course, that's the last thing any child wants to hear, and Briella ends up getting so freaked out by this revelation, she actually runs away, causing Miles and Dracula to give chase. Want to know what happened to them? Be sure to pick up the Miles Morales Blood Hunt tie-in. With them gone, it's up to the rest of the Earth's Mightiest Heroes to figure out what the hell they're going to do next. They figure that this vampire problem is actually three-pronged. They're going to need to get the sun back, which is naturally going to require some pretty heavy-duty magic. Then they're going to have to deal with all the emboldened vampires who are currently running around. Hunters, Moon, and Tigress say they have a plan that they've been working on over at the Moonlight Mission. No doubt if you want to see more of that, go check out their tie-in. Then, of course, there's actually getting to Lord Blade in the Impossible City, though the Avengers figure maybe they don't need to do that. If they're smart, maybe they can make Blade come to them. And what better way to kill two bats with one stone than by sending out an uplifting, inspiring message of hope to the rest of humanity who desperately need it right now. Captain Marvel might be the chair of the Avengers right now, but Carol knows full well in moments like this, they need an icon, they need Captain America, and hell, T'Challa himself actively saw this situation coming, which is why he heroically sacrificed himself so that Sam could stay, and indeed, Sam gives one hell of an uplifting message once Iron Man is able to patch him into all the open feeds. In a nice bit of continuity, Cap actually references several other events from the past few years, saying that this is not going to be the time that humanity falters under pressure. They defeated the Kotati, they defeated Null, they overthrew Hydra, and they're not going to be crushed now under the weight of a bunch of damn suckhead vampires. You know, it's clear that Jed MacKay certainly has a certain love and affection for Sam because he's given him so much great focus over his last little bit in the Avengers run, and here I think he gives him one of his best speeches. If you want our home, you'll have to fight for it. If you want our world, you'll have to take it. If you want our blood, you'll have to pay for every drop. And if you take our lives, we will be avenged. We will avenge the dead. We will protect the living because those are the things we owe you when we call ourselves Avengers. Things are bad, but as long as we have breath in our lungs, we have hope in our hearts, we will tell the vampires the same thing we told all the others. No! And you know what? This speech totally works. Not only does it inspire all the regular everyday boots on the ground, but it also serves to get under the skin of Vampire Lord Blade. Old Blade, you'll remember, was calm, cool, and collected, methodical even, but what he's become now as this new Vampire Lord is a lot more impulsive. And once he feels that they've truly insulted him by crossing the line of temerity, he vows to come at them with the biggest show of force possible. What is that, you might be wondering? Well, as the comic comes to an end, we get to see what exactly it was Black Panther was after in Wakanda. kinda. Only it wasn't so much a thing as it was a place, an ancient temple of horrifying and dark power, the temple of the first blasphemy. Which, you know what, I gotta admit is probably the most heavy metal sounding thing I have heard all day. And so that was Blood Hunt issue number 3, everybody, and once again I thought this event was pretty good. Not revolutionary, not trying to do anything too amazing, but certainly selling what is on the tin, and that is the Avengers and the rest of the Marvel Universe fighting a vampire threat. Again, I'm choosing not to read any tie-ins for this event, but to the book's credit, they actually do a good job hyping up all of the different tie-in series to the point where maybe, if my wallet wasn't hurting and I wasn't so tapped out on event stories in general, I might consider actually giving some of them a look. Again, I don't know how important they're going to be in a story that is ultimately very simple, like I said, Avengers versus vampires, but hey, there's meat on the bone should you choose to chew it. Credit where credit is due too, Jed MacKay actually does a really good job with Sam Wilson as Captain America in this book. I gotta say, that's probably one of the best Cap speeches I've read in a long time, and I was not expecting to get it in the pages of an event book. I know MacKay is probably going to be very busy with the Avengers in the next little bit, and he has a brand new X-Men book coming down the pipeline, but hey, I'd love to see him take a stab at Cap at some point. Beyond that, I don't really know what else to say. In fact, that's probably going to be my biggest complaint about Blood Hunt for the next little bit, and that is I am enjoying the story, but I don't really have much else to say beyond that, which is why I give it a very solid 7. Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quest, that's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow and, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.